Almoner. The Almoner has been love bombing his newfound love for 2 whole weeks. Day after day he's out of service, putting up with everything she throws towards him. But eventually, life gets in the way. He just came home from his shift. Phone face up, buzzing. He types in panic. 4 texts in 20 seconds. Typing, delete, typing. Scene. No reply. He stares at his empty inbox. Now compare that to the Allmaxer. The Allmaxer has his phone face down. He flips the phone, and there he sees his newest lead. Screen off, face down again. He doesn't panic. He knows exactly what to do next. If you've seen our "She's Not Crazy, You're Just Boring" video, you should be quite familiar with this graph. In this video, we'll give you a quick tutorial on one of the trickier entrances of this dynamic. We call it the first dip. Here is the Allmaxing definition. A dip represents a low, where things either fall apart or grow stronger than ever. So, the first dip is often tricky, simply because you haven't built much bonding yet. Many Allmaxers that are actually starting to do pretty well fuck up here, because they're either hesitant to stop the initial love bombing whatsoever, where we'd get into hyper-attached Almoner territory, or they just create a dip like they usually would, and the girl simply leaves due to the lack of bonding and investment. So basically, if you have little to no bonding, it just makes her much more likely to leave at the slightest inconvenience. And at the point where the first dip occurs, you probably never even met her, bro, and she holds almost all the leverage. She hasn't even slept with you or invested in you in any way. You're more or less just guy number 3 in her inbox. But, as the busy Allmaxer you should be, you're still going to create dips around this time. Let me tell you why. That's partially because you want to establish low investment early on, but let's be real. It's partially because you just can't be bothered to text all day. So after you ignore her for the first time, given that you did a good job with conversing and creating that initial high, it should look something like this. The Almoner, the guy who thinks what we do is toxic, almost always freaks out here. Frantically tries to apologize, and with that, sets his standard for the upcoming relationship. Now, I want you to think about what you would do in this scenario. She's complaining at you, trying to get more investment, more resources, more time, more blah 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 blah. But, if you give in, you lose some of your frame. She'll respect you less, and you'll go down the path of an Almoner relationship. Now, your Allmaxing brain should be telling you to just tell her that you're busy, and then keep it moving. But if you paid any attention in our first video, you would know that you shouldn't stack 2 dips. Especially not when your bonding with her is at this extremely low level. So how do you reconcile the situation and create a high without sacrificing your frame? Our Allmaxing SOP is to send a voice note, preferably your first one ever. The voice note has 2 primary reasons. Firstly, more sincere. You're almost never going to get ghosted after a small 15-second voice note, where you just explain how you were busy, but you're looking forward to talking to her again, gaslighting her, making her feel bad, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. You can probably imagine how big of an impact the tonality makes here. You can say the same thing that would get you ghosted for being an asshole in a text, and still get an answer back if you do it as a voice note, just because of your tone and extra sincerity. And not getting ghosted without sacrificing your whole frame is basically what the first dip is all about. The second reason the voice note is so powerful is because after she hears your beautiful voice for the first time, it immediately gets more personal between you. Through the tone of your voice, you become a little more than, guy number 3 in her inbox. You become likable, and she can confidently start to attach to you more easily than she could to speech bubbles on a screen. Hearing your voice will always be a higher up, a better reconciliation than a long paragraph would be. It's kind of seen as you making an effort, but it's very respected at the same time, which makes you much more likely to resolve the dip without even apologizing. And with that, you can set your groundworks for the rest of your Allmaxing HLR. I hope this helps, and if you're looking for more detailed content, check out our Discord. Or if you're already ascending, you can apply to our very expensive school community, where we literally cover every possible situation from long-term relationships, bedroom game, openers on dating apps, and everything you can see in the table of contents, all in autistic detail.